Hey, welcome to Maribel Ramblers. Check the colors. September the 17th, 2022. It's just starting to get just gorgeous. Cool, not quite freezing. Drained all the water, blew it out, no antifreeze. Fingers crossed. Everything crossed. Toes, whatever you can cross your eyes. That we leave October the 7th. We're 20 days away, 21 days away. Out of curiosity, I ran the generator with the little, this is a $200, I think, $250, I don't know, it's cheap. Welder. I had one 20 years ago, weighed a ton. This thing is like, it's lighter than the generator, and I just put this on the tractor. Now, I'm not a great welder, but that looks to me, that'll work. You can't pick much up with this thing anyways, a couple hundred pounds, so I don't need a big hook there, but just for dragging stuff around, we got that on. So this will be run by this, that we were taking anyways because it runs the trailer. Plus we got the $450 battery in there now, the AGM, so that's all good. The other thing I did excuse me, I'm dying but slowly, is I welded this on right here, and over here, as you can see, I have a lock. Now of course, if someone really wants to break things, you know, they can get in there, but we don't do a whole lot of boondocking, and when we do, we know our neighbors like Santa's Pack or whatever, so we're pretty, I just, you know what they say, keep the honest people honest. I also put little pieces of metal on here, double-sided tape, so that this little bolt isn't, because this is apparently a problem with these things, they can buckle. But I've checked ours out completely. It was 20,000 kilometers of bouncing through the worst drive, and I'm a retired truck driver. I've seen some roads. Last year, that atmospheric river, pardon me, that we drove through was just a nightmare, and that all held. Some other things did not hold, but that did. So I'm pretty confident that we've got a good, we'll see. My brother's a good welder. We'll be down in the Okanagan. We might get him to put a piece of metal on there. We'll see. Other than that, everything's good there. Locks everywhere. I've got hardly anything in here. Fishing rods and a few chairs. I will put the welder in here. I don't want any weight on the front end here. We're 9,000 pounds and we're loaded up. 8,000 at least. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit. But went under here and adjusted all this, those little bolts under there. You can't see them from here, but figured out it's pretty simple. It was coming in too tight, so we got that basically all adjusted. And the back one is really tight to the point that you can see it's bent. It's bending this a little bit, but I'm not going to dick with that. Everything's been sealed and all of the slide outs. Yeah, that bolt right there, I don't know if you can, GoPro usually comes in and focuses in. That little bolt goes in and out, and that stopper right there. So that's just a, you know, if it's too tight, you bring the bolt out. And I noticed that the other one on the other side had been broken off, and they welded it up. But that's why we're bringing the welder, in case anything goes wrong, and plus we can help people on the side of the road. I noticed two weak points. See that little bar across there that winds in? That turns. Those are 4 little 1/4-inch bolts. I just loaded up my bolt box. So we're just paranoid. They always said you have regular construction, you have careful construction, and then we're paranoid construction. We are paranoid. So like I said, I've got all this welded up too, so that's ready to go. We are ready to get out of here, and hopefully we're going to beat snow, because we left last year at -22. And it was a nightmare. We were lucky to make it. Problem now will be is, of course, we got 2 spares for the truck. We got 2 spares for the trailer. Problem will be is trying to get those electric bicycles in here. My wife's determined that we can get them in here. Won't break my heart if we don't bring them. I don't even ride the goddamn things. I should have bought a scooter. Should have bought a folding scooter with the big fat tires just to run around, a little bit of fun on the beach. Or I should have bought the folding bicycles. I guess the folding bicycles probably would have been a better idea. But you don't know what you don't know. We've had electric bike before, and they're pretty cool. We like them. But the two we bought shorter, squatter ones. the Volt Bike Nitro and the Bike Tricks Challenger, kind of squatty little things. The one fits under here, the other one has to be handlebars lowered, but they both fit in nicely, and I can, like the dirt bikes, I can hook them up and pull down and they'll walk up nice. So we have too much stuff. We have change for the trailer, change for the truck. We are a little bit overloaded, but that's the way I've always been when I was towing, you know, the Big Peter, the Freightliner, whatever it was. I didn't have 1 3/4 inch wrench, I had 3. It's like the Marines say, 2 is better than 1 and 1 is none. And I'm dragging this chain along in case we got to drag somebody out or we got to get dragged out. I got clevises. Oh, we are so loaded. 2 fishing rods. I don't do a whole lot of fishing, but I am hoping to get the big rod out in the ocean this year, because you don't need a permit when you're shore fishing in Baja. So that's the update. Everything is ready to go. We were thinking about toppers, but I'm not going to worry about that. This trailer's probably going to go next year, depending on our situation with health. Financially, we're doing okay. We really can't complain about that. So that's, you know, if you got your health and you got a little bit of cash flow and you got some time, you pretty much got the bull by the horns. So the world's going to hell in a handbasket all over the place, but we're basically just we're going to enjoy ourselves while it's on the way down, and try to be nice to people while we do it. We got a Drift XL Pro, I think it's called, camera coming. I had one of those before on the motorcycle. I remember falling off my wife's motorcycle at 60 miles an hour in an Alberta park and watching it bounce across the road into the bush. Never did see that thing again. So, but I like the Drift. It's a pretty good camera. Now they got the dash cam, so we'll have the Drift up on the dash. So when the cops pull you over, we don't have any problem with the cops, because we got that paperwork that we hand them that says we know what we're doing, you can do whatever you want, but we're not going to listen to you, in Spanish and English. And we've tried it and it works. We got stopped last year and we gave them that piece of paper, and it's our rights. You can get that on Discover Baja, I think it's called. Is it Discover Baja? Something like that. And on top of that, because they pull you, remember, stop signs, altos are not for Mexicans, they're for tourists. That's what the stop signs are for. Mexicans don't stop at stop signs, not in the Baja. But we're expected to. No problem. Everybody's trying to earn a living, whatever. We're going to put the dash cam up there, and when the officer, señora, por favor, señora, ¿dónde está la registration? Ich weiß nicht. I'll run some German by him, which I don't know either, but as good as my Spanish. We'll just turn that camera towards him so he can see exactly that he's on camera. And like everything, you just have to be polite, and we'll have no problems. We don't worry about banditos, because like Mitch says, what is Mitch, my cousin? I don't know what he is, something like that. Bill's fantasy about killing a bandito. Because I wanted to bring a shotgun, but I can't. And I wanted to bring a bow and arrow, but they will seize those sometimes if they find them, and they can really search the vehicles in Mexico. So I guess I won't be, you know, putting a bow, an arrow through any banditos. We just don't see any banditos. We're in the parks. We boondock very little. But that's my fantasy. Spiking a bandito. Yeah, probably I'm going to take a shotgun blast, because they carry shotguns. We have friends that got robbed, and they put a shotgun blast right through the back there behind the bathroom. And that pretty much set the tone for come on in, take what you want. Because it takes the federales half an hour. You got to have a satellite phone in a lot of places to get the federales out. And by the time you get there, the banditos are long gone. So whatever, you give them some cash. And that's what they said, you know, they gave them some cash. They were kind of rude, but they got out. And that is so rare down there. You're more apt to get robbed in California or Yuma. There's more dangerous things than the banditos in Mexico. But still, let's try and be nice while we're here. I guess the next thing we'll do is have the drone and both cameras going as we do the Alaska Highway, and try to do it proper so when people drive up here, there's lots of stuff on that, but we've done the Alaska Highway 25 times, so we're professionals. Yeah, but Mother Nature can put professionals or amateurs into their place, And we got our fingers crossed that this year she's going to be a little bit nicer to us. Because yes, last year was almost kind of like a death wish. But it sure was nice to get down there into Southern California and into the Baja and see some sunshine and some warmth. Oh, the Alaska Highway's busy once again. But we're still seeing some motorhomes and things going by and some big coaches, but it's thinned down a lot. It was a good year for tourism, though. Most of Canada's either got the vaccines or been sick. I think it's the same in America. So, who cares? Bring it on. I've got vaccines and had COVID multiple times as my wife. So, what are you going to do? You know, we're complying and still getting sick and still surviving. So, got worse things to worry about than COVID, I'll tell you that. Oh, Grandpa's 92 tomorrow. Grandpa's 92 tomorrow. And the only thing I can think of, why did he make 92? Because he's a grumpy old guy. He's not happy. His stock is not going good. Granny's in the dementia ward. They took her away from him. We can't handle her. We packed her around like me and Katarina packed her like a hockey player, and home care helped out. But she got so bad, you got to pack her with take her to the bathroom. She's in a wheelchair now. Granny. Hard to believe. Anyway, he's a pretty sad camper. So it ain't. Oh, there we are. There's somebody going south. But one thing he does, I should say he doesn't eat much. He hardly eats. He eats like a sparrow. So being overweight, if you want to be 92, the only thing I could recommend is, I don't know about attitude and all of that, because Grandpa's just a worker. I'll say that. He's a worker. But he don't eat. He don't eat much. He don't eat hardly nothing. And I'm finding that myself. The less I eat, actually the better I feel. Although, we like to put the feed bags on every now and then. We will tomorrow, making pizza for Boompa. He'll eat his little tiny slice and a little bowl of ice cream. We'll give him his Kahlua and milk. We give him Kahlua and milk every day. Gives him some protein. And he wanders home, staggers. He staggers when he walks anyways, but he staggers even more. Damn, fall up here is nice. It's a good time to be here, September. After September, though, I'll put those pictures in there of a young fellow we helped from New York down in the parking lot of Canadian Tire, getting his tire on the roof. That was a bit of a battle. He was trying to get his tire on the roof. We helped him there. Of course, the wife has been. I don't get to drive the tractor hardly anymore. She is like a backhoe guru. She wants to run a business next year with the backhoe. We'll see what happens. She's good at it. I remember when I was driving, a lot of companies were hiring women. That was 15 years ago, last time I drove. And that's because women have a gentler touch. Trucks are cleaner, generally. You don't want them on the big Super Bs, maybe throwing them tarps around, trying to strap them on. Maybe the physical strength isn't their asset. But as far as loading up and going, I mean, they can go as good as anybody. And trucks are clean, they smell good, and they do a good job. So power to them. Over and out from Marble Ramblers. We're itching to roll.